Now that we've gone over Respa Section 6, we now understand that it is designed to protect consumers from mortgage servicing abuses, and we can remember the mnemonic device for Respa Section 6 has to do with servicing because they both start with the letter S. Respa Section 6 has to do with servicing. Now, when we talk about Respa Section 8, we are talking about prohibiting kickbacks, fee splitting, and unearned fees. Now, I like to remember that Respa Section 8 in this kind of weird, quirky way. When I see the number 8, to me, it looks like one soccer ball stacked on top of another. Now, what do we do with soccer balls? We kick them. So it helps me remember that kickbacks are a part of Respa Section 8. Now, it's important to note that kickbacks are illegal referral fees according to Section 8 of Respa. Now, make a note, even though Respa does prohibit kickbacks, Respa does not prohibit payment of fair market value for goods or services that were actually received or performed. So, for example, an underwriter does work pertaining to the approval of a loan. That's what they do. So in this case, it's not a violation for an underwriter to be paid what is rightfully owed to them for the work that they did pertaining to the approval of the loan. This is known as fair market value. It's also important that you understand what an unearned fee is. An unearned fee is defined by Respa as a fee that you receive when no actual work is done. So according to Respa, if you render a service or good, that would be considered work, such as underwriting or originating a loan. However, sharing the name and phone number of a lead to a company where the lead may purchase a good or service from the company and sharing a portion of the earnings from the sale from that lead is prohibited because all you did was give a name and a phone number, which according to Respa is not considered to be work. It's Respa Section 8 that also prohibits accepting or giving a thing of value in exchange for the referral of settlement services. Now, identifying what a thing of value is somewhat tricky, and the test will try to trick you on the test with this concept. So let's define it. A thing of value may include, but is not limited to, gift cards, sports tickets, advertising space, vacations, etc. So let's put this concept into an example. Daisy Duke Title Company had a really great year. They discovered that most of the loans that they closed came from referrals from Jesse James Mortgage Company. So as a thank you for all the business they completed together, Daisy Duke Title Company invites Jesse James Mortgage Company to a special thank you dinner. The existence of this dinner is a violation of Respa because of the intent of the dinner. The intent of the dinner is to say thank you to Jesse James Mortgage, but all Jesse James Mortgage did was refer them to the title company. No actual work was done. So in this case, the dinner is a thing of value because it benefits both the mortgage company as well as the title company, which is a violation of Respa. Now, it is important to note that promotional items are allowed under Respa. However, this can be a bit tricky at times to understand when something is a promotional item and when a promotional item can be seen as a thing of value. So let's do an example. Let's say I work for 1-800 Title Company and I want to give promotional materials to M&M Mortgage. It's only considered to be a promotional item if it has 1-800 Title Company's logo on it, because M&M Mortgage can give it to their clients to promote the company I work for, 1-800 Title. However, if 1-800-TITLE company gives M&M Mortgage promotional material with M&M's logo on it, it now has become a thing of value for M&M Mortgage because it can be used to promote their business, therefore making it valuable to M&M Mortgage. It can be really easy to overthink these concepts, you guys, so we'll just do a sample question to help us better understand. A borrower is seeking an FHA loan. The borrower goes to ABC Mortgage Company to get an FHA loan, but they do not write FHA loans. So ABC Mortgage then refers the borrower to XYZ Mortgage. XYZ then gives ABC a basket of marketing materials with ABC's logo on it. This practice is A, not prohibited because ABC Mortgage couldn't write the loan. B, not prohibited because marketing materials are not a thing of value. C, prohibited because ABC Mortgage must buy their own marketing materials. Or D, prohibited because ABC Mortgage didn't do any work in exchange for the marketing materials. Take your time, answer the question, and we'll go through the answers together one by one. Remember, we're trying to find the most correct answer. Now, let's go over the question together. We know that this practice is either prohibited or not prohibited based off the answers, so we need to be sure that we're reading the question carefully. So let's break it down. The borrower starts at ABC Mortgage. ABC Mortgage can't write the loan. So ABC refers, that's a huge hint here, refers the borrower to XYZ Mortgage. It continues on to say that XYZ gave ABC promotional materials with ABC's logo on it. So knowing what we know about Respa Section 8 and unearned fees, we can answer this question. So let's look at answer A. It reads, not prohibited, because ABC Mortgage couldn't write the loan. Just because ABC Mortgage couldn't write the loan doesn't mean they are exempt from the rules of Respa. The rules of Respa apply unless there is an exception, and in this case, there is not an exception that would apply here. Therefore, we can rule this answer out. Now, on to answer B. It reads, not prohibited, because marketing materials are not a thing of value. This answer is only partially right. Marketing materials traditionally are not a thing of value, so long as the logo of the materials reflect those of the company giving the materials and not the logo of the company receiving the materials. So in this question, XYZ gave ABC marketing materials that reflected ABC's logo. So we know this can't be the answer. So now we have the choice between C and D. So let's look at answer C. It says prohibited because ABC Mortgage must buy their own marketing materials. There's nothing that we've learned so far that states that mortgage companies are only allowed to buy their own marketing materials. So this answer just simply doesn't make sense. So we can cross it off. And now we're left with answer D, which reads, prohibited, because ABC Mortgage didn't do any work in exchange for the marketing materials. We know this is correct because as we just learned about Respa Section 8, which identifies unearned fees, kickbacks, and fee splitting, we know that these are prohibited practices. And because the marketing materials that were gifted due to a referral is not considered to be work according to Respa, and because those marketing materials reflect ABC's logo, it no longer is seen as a traditionally understood marketing material. It has now become a thing of value. Now, let's do one more example in a different way that you could see on the test. The question reads as follows. AMA Mortgage Company gifts a borrower with a $100 gift card at the consummation of a loan. Does this violate Respa Regulation X? A, yes, per Respa, no thing of value can be exchanged. B, yes, per Respa, anything of value cannot be exchanged. C, no, per Respa, a thing of value can't be given to a borrower. Or D, no, per Respa, a thing of value cannot be given to a borrower. This one's a little tricky. Take some time to answer this question and we'll go over it together. Okay, let's look at this question and read it together. AMA mortgage gifts who? The borrower. Underline the word borrower in this question. With a $100 gift card at the consummation of the loan. Does this violate Respa? Underline the word Respa. Okay, so what we're talking about here is the relationship between AMA mortgage and a borrower. In the previous question, we were talking about the relationship between a mortgage company and another mortgage company. This is really key here, so be sure you understand this. Does Respa say anything about a mortgage company not being able to gift its borrower with something of value at the closing of a loan? No. The borrower did business with AMA Mortgage. They are their client. So when we look at these answers, we can already knock out both A and B. Now, because of what the question is asking and who the relationship is between, we can see that it's asking if the mortgage company violated Respa because they gifted their borrower with something of value. Key word here is borrower. Again, this test will try to trick you. So now that we know that the mortgage company did not violate Respa, we need to narrow down our last two answers to the most correct one. Now, we just talked about how nothing in Respa states that a mortgage company can't give something of value to a borrower, so we can remove answer D. So we're left with answer C, which states no, per Respa, a thing of value can't be given to a borrower. This is the last example before we move on to Respa Section 9. The following would not be a violation of Respa. A thing of value can be exchanged for a referral if an existing marketing agreement between the two companies is signed. B, split charges are allowed between two companies so long as one company does work. C, kickbacks are allowed if the affiliated business arrangement disclosure is presented. Or D, an employer's payment to its own employees for any referral. Take some time to answer this question and we'll go over it together. Okay, let's look at answer A. It reads, a thing of value can be exchanged for a referral if an existing marketing agreement between the two companies is signed. Now, understand here that just because two companies have signed an agreement does not mean that the agreement is not in violation of Respa, because in this case, it would be. It completely would be a violation of Respa because Respa states that no thing of value can be exchanged for a referral to another company. So we know this isn't the answer. Now let's look at answer B. It reads, split charges are allowed between two companies so long as one company does the work. This answer simply does not make sense. Respa states that a company may only be paid fair market value for work that was actually done. So split charges are prohibited otherwise. Now let's look at answer C. It reads, kickbacks are allowed if the affiliated business arrangement disclosure is presented. Remember, the circumstance that an affiliated business disclosure would need to be given would be if a person is referring a borrower to a company that they have more than 1% ownership of that could result in them making money off of the one borrower in more than one way. So this answer doesn't make sense either, which leaves us with answer D, an employer's payment to its own employees for any referral. Now, you may be thinking here, but Andrea, you just said that no thing of value can be given for any referral. And that's correct. However, we have to read this answer carefully and look at the key words here. The key words here are the words employer and the words its own employees, meaning the employer and the employees, they work for the same company. So we've been looking at examples that look at the relationship between one mortgage company and another mortgage company. or the relationship between a title insurance company and a mortgage company. So since this answer states that an employer is giving its own employee a thing of value, this is not violating Respa. So the correct answer would be D.